You think you need more time, but time has never been missing. What's missing is direction. What's lost is focus. What's weak is commitment. The fact is, it's not the smartest who win. It's not the richest who survive. It's the most consistent, even when no one's watching, even when no one's praising, even when you're not viral. The fact is, success isn't about talent. It's about habits. Small habits you repeat while others are busy chasing shortcuts. The fact is, your life doesn't change because of one big decision. It changes because of thousands of small decisions made when no one's looking. And when you realize that, you stop waiting for motivation. You start moving because you know you don't need a push, you need discipline. Why did no one tell you this important truth from the start? Because they thought you would quit. If you knew how hard this road really is, how lonely it gets, how often you fail. They stayed silent, not because they didn't care, but because this isn't knowledge you can be taught. You have to live it, take the hits, and accept it. The important truth is simple. Success isn't about talent. It's not about luck. It's about endurance. When everything feels unfair, when results don't show up, when you start doubting yourself. No one told you that confidence has to be built, that motivation has to be hunted down, that your path will be filled with doubt even from the people closest to you. But now you know, and that's enough. Because when you know, you can choose to keep going. Even alone, even slowly, even when no one sees you. The secret behind fast success. You see them rise quickly, going viral, being recognized, being praised. But you don't see how long they've been quietly learning, how many times they failed without a single audience. Fast success is an illusion. What looks instant is actually the result of a long process that was never put on display. The secret isn't a trick. It's not connections. It's not luck. The secret is working when no one's watching, enduring when no one's supporting, believing when no one else believes. They don't talk about the nights filled with doubt, about the projects that failed in silence, about the urge to quit that came again and again. Because what's fast isn't the result. What's fast is just the spotlight, and the spotlight never comes until you endure in the dark. Small things that secretly change your life drastically. It's not the big decisions that define you. It's the small things you repeat every single day. Waking up earlier, delaying just 5 minutes, reading one page, scrolling aimlessly, answering or ignoring one message. Those small things, you don't see them, but they shape you. They decide who you become. Not today, but 6 months from now, a year from now. You don't realize it, but your life is being molded by tiny habits, the ones you underestimate, the ones you do without thinking. And if you start to realize that, you can change your direction, not with a big leap, but with one small decision repeated without end. You think big change needs a big moment, but what really matters is often just one small decision. Waking up earlier, saying yes when you're scared, turning down offers that don't align, starting even when you're not ready. Those small decisions don't go viral. No one claps for them, but they shift your direction. They open doors, they shut out distractions. And when you repeat that small decision every single day, your life starts to move, not because of magic, but because you chose to act, not to wait. Most people wait for a big moment, but the ones who succeed, they create that moment themselves through one small decision made without drama, without doubt, without an audience. Decisions you think are ordinary, but secretly shape your future. You think it's just a small choice. What time you wake up, read or scroll. Do it now or later. But right there, your future is being formed. Not by one big moment, but by the small decisions you repeat every single day. You don't realize it, but every time you delay, you're training yourself to lose. Every time you choose comfort, you're moving away from results. Successful people aren't always right, but they dare to choose, even when they're not sure. They dare to start, even when they're not ready. They dare to keep going, even when results haven't shown up. Those small decisions are like seeds. You don't see them today, but they grow in silence. And one day, they become the tree that determines where your life is headed. One small habit that can make you far more excellent than 90% of people. Most people wake up and then they react, scroll, reply to messages. But the excellent ones, they wake up and start, not waiting, not delaying, not adjusting to the world. They create their own rhythm. That small habit isn't a secret, but it's rarely done because it's boring, not viral, not instant. Wake up earlier, write your daily plan, do one important thing before distractions hit. Repeat every day without drama. That small habit is like water. You don't see impact today, but it erodes limits. It shapes character. It makes you excellent slowly without the need to shout. And while others are busy looking for motivation, you are already moving because you know what makes you excellent isn't a boast of passion, but the habit you keep when no one's watching. Today you have time, but you use it to delay, to wait for mood, to wait for motivation. Tomorrow you'll realize time wasn't lost, it left, and it never comes back. What you postpone today could be a chance that never comes twice, an idea that never gets to grow, a step that never gets started. You think you're safe, but silence is also a choice, and every choice has consequences. Successful people aren't always right, but they dare to act, even when they're not perfect. They dare to start, even when they're not sure. They dare to fail because they know delay is more dangerous. Regret doesn't come from failure, it comes from never trying. And that starts today with one small decision: move or stand still. You don't need a stage. You don't need the spotlight. You don't need a dramatic moment. What you need is one small decision, repeated every single day. Wake up earlier. Do one important thing before distractions hit. Reject distractions. Resist the urge to delay. It's not a big thing, but that's exactly where your life starts to shift. Slowly, silently, but surely. People who wait for big moments often never start because they're busy waiting for the right time. But the best time isn't later, it's now. Change don't come from outside. It's born from within, from one small habit that you protect even when no one's watching. And when you repeat that every day, your life starts to change. Not because of magic, but because you stopped waiting and started moving. Why people who fail often have the same excuses. I'm not ready. I don't have time. I don't have capital. I'm afraid to fail. Those aren't excuses. They're repeats used by everyone who chose to quit before they even tried. People don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they're too busy explaining why they haven't started. They wait for perfection, but perfection is a myth. What's real is the first step, taken even while shaking, even when incomplete, even when unsure. Successful people feel fear too. They lack capital too. They're not always ready, but they keep moving because they know delay is more dangerous than failure. Excuses feel comfortable, but comfort never creates change. If you want to be different, stop looking for excuses. Start looking for solutions. The small secret used by great people but rarely spoken about. They look great, confident, full of achievements. But what they don't tell you is this: they have one small habit that they protect with everything they've got. Not some advanced technique, not some secret connection, not a fire that never goes out. Just one thing: they stay consistent, even when no one's watching, even when no one's praising, even when they're not sure. They wake up while others are still sleeping. They study while others complain. They work on small things that others think don't matter, and they repeat that every single day. No drama, no spotlight. That's the secret they don't share because it's not glamorous, not viral, but that's exactly what makes them different. Not because they're extraordinary, but because they don't quit, even when every reason to quit is right in front of them. Talent is just the beginning, but it's not the deciding factor. What holds you back isn't that you're not smart enough. It's that you procrastinate too much. You say later too often. You choose comfort too frequently. Habits Habits work in silence. They shape your life's rhythm. They set your direction without you even realizing it. Waking up late, scrolling aimlessly, putting off small tasks, skipping one commitment. It's not a big deal, but if you repeat it every day, then it becomes a wall that blocks your progress, that holds you back even though you have massive potential. Greatness doesn't belong to the most talented, it belongs to the most aware that small habits create big results. And when you start to change just one habit, your life begins to shift. Not because of miracles, but because you stop living on autopilot and start living with purpose.